Hi all. I wanted to do a quick video on the vulnerability of financial planning and the vulnerability of showing up and taking responsibility for your relationship to money. I feel like I've been in meeting after meeting today. I think I'm going into my 5th client meeting, and there hasn't been a moment that one of my clients has expressed some type of vulnerability for where they're at in their financial life. And, I do this all day long, and it really doesn't even matter how much or how little they have. It's the facing the finances and the goals and the past and the regrets that is a very vulnerable process that marks us and that makes us feel that the world is going to come back and judge us for our decisions. And, it reminded me of an experience I had in my late 20s when I went to go buy a car. And I walked into my bank, I think it was Wells Fargo's at the time, and I wanted to buy a car, and they told me, no, you don't qualify for a loan. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I feel so wealthy in my life, right? I live in this amazing community with beautiful people, gorgeous house, gorgeous neighborhood. We share everything. We only needed one, we didn't need 8, but I just felt so wealthy in my life, wealth of conversations and of social engagements. But I wasn't wealthy on paper. I think my debt to income ratio, or what I was making at the time, it just wasn't enough to get the loan that I wanted. And I remember walking out from that meeting feeling super vulnerable and judged and exposed. And as I was having conversations with clients today, going through their own processes with money as we do financial planning or behavioral finance, I was reminded of that. And I was reminded of, we're currently going through a refinancing process for a home. And I was like, oh, I have to show statements again. And I remember that icky feeling of that time. And I know it's, doesn't compare, and I'm a very different time in my life. I remember what it was to feel judged. And so I'm feeling a huge love for humanity right now as we navigate this material journey, as we take risk and we open up our hearts and we share our vulnerabilities around money, because that sense of judgment takes a while to unravel, and especially when we hold it in our bodies. And the feeling I had today as people were showing me statements and sending me cash flows is that they're almost like showing me pictures of their naked selves, and they're saying, please don't judge me, and please don't make me feel wronged. And it really warmed my heart to see people do that and take that plunge no matter where they're at financially. And I just felt this desire to communicate that to the world, because no matter where you are at in your financial life, sharing it with someone else, even if it's with a good friend or partner, helps take the weight away of past grievances or past regrets. Because all I do know is that we can't change the past, but we can certainly plan for today. We can implement for today, and we can just start shaping the future. And that's really where I see true financial freedom. There's not so much what you have, but it's if you feel the possibility of shaping your present moment and shaping your future. And again, that's not entirely attached to how much you have in the bank. That's a state of being and a choice. And so really feeling the love of all the clients I have spoken with today, the ones that I will continue to speak with in just a couple minutes, around the vulnerability of just taking control of your financial life. So if you haven't tried it, give it a try. It's well worth the journey. Ashe.